Welcome everyone to today's readings. Today is Sunday, and so we are going to be asking for an immediate message, and I'm going to be seeking guidance for you for the coming week. However, I have to just say that there is a very, very strong energy around in these readings. As I was preparing, I almost thought, do I change the name to say your ancestors have a message for you? Because I feel like it's like there are so many people standing with me for these readings. This happens every now and then in a reading, but my goodness me, today it's as though it's like a gathering. And so I don't know quite whether I will word this, because I know some people follow these readings on Sunday, and thank you so much, all of you who do so, follow the Sunday readings every week. But there are ancestors here. There are many of them. It does feel like a gathering. So we're clearly going to be drawing on some kind of ancestral knowledge or wisdom in today's messages. And we will, of course, still be asking for an immediate message, something you need to hear about right now. And we will, of course, still be looking at the week ahead. Thank you so much, all of you, for being here. I've said thank you to those of you who return and follow my readings. Really, truly, I'm really honoured to read for you, and welcome everyone who is new. It's an absolute joy and a privilege to read for you. Now, we have these three beautiful cards, so without further ado, I'm going to show them to you. Then I'm going to draw some charms and some runes for anyone that likes a little bit more information to help to guide them into the right pile or piles. And then in a separate timestamp, I will also ask the universe to see which pile or piles are recommended. So, pile 1, you have the card of the Sun. This is for pile 1. Pile 2, you have the card of All Tied Up. That's for pile 2. And pile 3, you have the Garden and the Gate. That's for pile 3. Okay, so charms and runes. Pile 1, you have 2 runes. You have the rune of Othilla, which is the rune of inheritance, gain, but also separation. And also you have the rune of Gibo, which is the rune of partnership and also a gift. Let me pop those there. And your charm, I'm going to put the little counter there just so you can see it more easily. Your charm this week is an owl, and a very big owl as well. Okay, wow, these are going to be super interesting readings. I am excited. Okay. 2 runes coming through again for pile 2. You have the rune of Nathis, constraint, and you also have the rune of Isa, which is ice or stand still. Okay, so that is pile 2. Let's put a little counter there to take your charm and see what comes through. You have a beautiful fairy. Okay, that's for pile 2. Pile 3. You have the rune of harvest, Jira. And you have Swellow. Swellow is like a pathway to wholeness. It's the rune of wholeness. I won't say too much. I'd rather wait until we're in the readings. We can kind of see what's being shown to us. But yeah, Swellow is the rune of wholeness. This is the rune of harvest. And you have the ship's wheel. Okay. Gosh, lots of messages coming through already. So, beautiful souls. Your cards, your runes, your charms. I'm going to leave the video running just a few moments longer. I usually do this just to give you a little bit of extra time. You can press the pause button if you need even more time. And then I will see you in the readings. And in just a moment, I will ask the universe as well. So beautiful souls, take as long as you need, and I will see you in the readings in just a moment. Welcome everyone. Let's find out which pile the universe is suggesting for you today. Pile 2 is the reading for you today. Beautiful souls, I will see you in the reading in just a moment. Pile 1, welcome. These are your oracle cards for today. You have the Sun. This is card number 1. It's really like a new dawn, a new beginning. It's interesting though, because it does also indicate sometimes like the culmination of something, a bit like the completion of a project, which means you can birth it into the world. So you've got that new beginning with a completion of something, which is very interesting because Othilla is also a completion of something. Just listening to ancestors, ancestral knowledge, ancestral wisdom. Gibo is a rune of partnership, of relationships, as well as being a rune of a gift. I think for some of you, someone might be coming into your life. This may be a relationship reading. We need to get an awful lot more cards before I can be certain of that. But I do think for some of you, someone might be coming into your world, and it will overthrow ancestral patterns that have been a problem. There's something that can be let go of, and it's like the collaboration of the two of you, or indeed it could be you in a project or you in a place, but there's relationship here, and something can be seen as well or learned from. I feel like something is being overthrown or completed that could even be something like a legacy within relationship that has held you back, and it's like a family tradition that no longer works, or that there's something that's coming to an end. Let's see what else we are shown. You have fight like a girl. Wow, that's a really interesting energy. And my goodness me, look at the gold, the sort of almost like very Inca-like jewelry here. Fight like a girl. Okay. You also have championed peace. Okay. Now I understand. There's something of the feminine here coming through, because that sense of fight like a girl, the energy of this is about the feminine, and it's like the divine feminine. Think of a lioness, thinking of the golden mane of the sun, often symbolized by a lion actually. Think of a lioness, and a lioness will defend her cubs to the death. You know, she would absolutely fight their corner in every possible way. But the rest of the time, if you don't bother her, she won't bother you. I mean, unless she's out hunting. But the point is, she is ultimately one of the most peaceful warriors we could ever come across. And there's something of the lioness energy here, whereby you let go of a pattern or something that has been a family position, possibly one of difficulty within connections, and something new comes from this. It's interesting, I am seeing in ancestors coming forward. What's fascinating is it's more men that I'm seeing come forwards. It's almost as though the women are in the background, but they're holding the strength. Banish a curse. Yeah, this is about overcoming, they're asking you to do it, or they're saying, look, you can address something here. It's a big karmic thing to do. Big respect to you, but this is about overcoming something. A curse that's governed. It could even be like where two families are at odds or at war with one another due to something. And at this point in time, and this could have been going on for decades, and to the point where nobody actually knows what the original falling out was about. You can get that with families where, you've got these two families who, there's an unspoken sort of thing that they will never, be friends or get together. And then a bit like Romeo and Juliet, actually, that's very much the energy. Like Romeo and Juliet, where they're, like they live on the wrong side of the tracks kind of thing. There's this, antagonism, but you can overcome something. It's like a legacy that you can overcome. This is the message. Okay. I do think it connects to some form of relationships. Maybe you need to see it differently, or you're wise enough to be able to see beyond something. Believe in yourself, you are important. Okay. And worth the wait. Okay. I need to move those along a little bit just to make sure we get everything in view for you. I think we can do that. Yeah. Okay, worth the wait. Banish a curse, believe in yourself. For some of you also, maybe you have been held back in relationship by family traditions or beliefs, or that you couldn't, maybe even that you can't stand up for yourself, or a sense of unworthiness, or there's something here of a legacy and it's time for you to let it go. Yeah, look, you are a unique and extraordinary person. Wherever you have come from, whatever has happened to you in the past, it's time to let go of any negative perceptions that you may carry about yourself. Okay, so there's anything that's holding you back. It's like a family tradition or something that says you can't or you shouldn't. It's time to bathe in, almost like in sunlight, to bathe in source energy, to have... Literally, if you've come from, as well, like a family, I'm looking at this, it just looks like Inca gold, a family who kind of didn't believe that, it almost like you'd be a traitor if you were successful. I don't know if you know what I mean by that, but I've definitely come across this, certainly within, elements of my own family, where somehow it's like it's not okay to succeed. Or even spiritually, you're not a spiritual person if you're successful, or it's not okay to succeed, or it's not okay somehow, as if you were to, work your socks off and achieve wonders, that somehow you'll be criticised, or that people would sort of say, oh, look at them, out there with all their money or whatever, and actually you've worked for it. Why shouldn't you? There's something here about this. I get the impression as well, whatever happens to you, you're not going to forget where you've come from either. Clearly we need to be humble. But there is something here about, like that lioness, fighting for yourself, fighting for your entitlement, your right. But I do say that's not without humbleness either. May we kindly... see what else you have here. You have the Queen of Cups. Well, there's the Divine Feminine showing up immediately. You've got two Queens. I'm astonished. Wow. And then the Magician. Let's just press the pause button here. I'll take from the top in a moment. Two Queens. You've got the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles. That's a magical combination. The Queen of Pentacles is very much the Queen of self-care. The Queen of Cups, she's emotionally fulfilled. I think that's magnificent. This is about choosing to embody peacefully, but with great strength, whatever it is that you wish to be, whatever it is that you are manifesting. It's worth the wait. Okay. Also, if you're being told you can't have something, Is something or someone not moving forwards as fast as you would like? This card is here to reassure you. Hold fast, be patient. The best things in life are worth waiting for. Is someone telling you that you can't have something, and then you're sort of almost interpreting that through the lens of that family legacy that sort of say, well, I'm not really supposed to. It's coming and it'll be worth the wait. This is what your messages are about today. You have the Two of Swords. Now, this is suggesting that there is perhaps a decision or a choice to make, or you can't see quite how you might achieve something. Perhaps you have an idea or a vision, and because you don't quite know how to make it happen, you're faltering. I mean, I'm curious as to what will happen in the coming week. Maybe kind of get guidance with this Two of Swords. Some additional guidance, please, for my pile 1. You have the Page of Cups. I think something can and will advance this week. Now, either you reach out or someone reaches out to you. Look at that. You're moving from a page to the Knight. And then you have the Two of Wands. Now, when we move from that lovely progressive energy, moving from a page to a Knight, we are seeing something. It's like moving from the beginning of something that is in its early stages of possibility to the point where you can really celebrate it. We've also got 2 twos. Isn't that magical? I feel that there's angel guidance around you with these sort of numbers as well. 2 twos here, surrounding the Page and the Knights. I do feel that you will, something this week will progress for you, actually. Either someone will come to you, or you can reach out and you'll get a really, really good response. I feel something can move forwards this week. It's banishing the curse. Because it's almost like you're reading and your ancestors coming forward and saying, look, you don't have to be bound by the things that we were bound by. And then on top of that, your guides are coming through and saying, look, move forwards with your eyes wide open. You can let go of those legacies. Stand in your empowerment. Be prepared to step up for what you believe in this week. If there's something you want to do, I don't feel like it's like a real fighting kind of energy, hence the fight like a girl energy. But be prepared to stay the course with something that, because it's what you really want. Hold out for what you want. It's worth the wait. I think this week, even though you may be faced with a little bit of indecision initially, I think the clarity of direction will come, and this is going to be, it'll be more intuitive, hence the feminine energy as well. This is one of those times when I think you'll feel far more, this is like trust your intuition and move forwards. I think you will see the next step forward this week. It'll be gifted to you. It could come through in another reading. It could just be shown to you with signs, with signals, with synchronicities. As long as you hold your ground and you're prepared to almost embody your desired outcome, I think you'll get it. Something is going to shift this week and you'll know you're on track. You know you're moving forwards, but there is a legacy to let go of. That comes from some kind of a family trait, and for many it goes back several generations, decades, where there's a sort of a belief that something can't work out. Now, if this connects to partnership, because it could be a partnership reading for some of you, if this connects to partnership, it's letting go of any beliefs within you that stop you from, again, really owning your own self-worth, your emotional value. There are certain things that we should not compromise on. Compromise is essential within a relationship, of course, for a healthy relationship, but this isn't about compromising who you are. There are definitely some not negotiables, in terms of, fundamentals, respect, care, courtesy, kindness, those kinds of the things, compassion. What are you looking for emotionally? And there are things that should not be compromised over, but I think you're going to see the way forwards here this week in whatever this is referring to. But there's a definite overcoming of some kind of an inherited legacy or perception, whether it's in this lifetime, going back through generations. And as you release yourself from those limitations, the magic happens. And even if you may not know exactly how to move something forwards initially, or you might be faced with a bit of indecision at this moment in time, put all that stuff aside, and I think everything will then begin to literally flow. Pile 1, this is your reading. Wow. This is very deep, very exciting, very empowered, but it's got such a gentle quality about it as well. Beautiful souls, thank you so much for being here. It's such an honour to read for you. Tons and tons of love. Don't forget to subscribe and press the little bell icon if you'd like to make sure you never miss a reading as soon as I upload them. And do please give me the thumbs up and share and indeed comment. I love reading your comments. I can't reply to you all, but I do read them. So thank you, all of you, for being here. Loads and loads and loads of love. Pile 2, welcome to your reading. I believe this was the reading that was recommended by the universe as well. Now, you have the card all tied up. I find this really fascinating because the energy around this, because this card does indicate that something is sort of potentially stuck, and it kind of suggests two different areas of stuckness. One is that there is literally a situation around you that is holding you back. It is stuck. It's at a standstill. Or indeed, it could indicate that you yourself are tying yourself in knots. You are stucking yourself, as it were. The fact that we have constraint, which also requires patience and suggests that things are not moving forwards at the moment, followed by Isa, the rune of standstill or ice, which also says that something needs to happen before the ice can melt and flow can return. I mean, everything in this reading is suggesting that something is stuck or standing still. We also, though, have this beautiful, beautiful fairy. And that's a very powerful and magical, very, very lovely energy. So I will be honest, Part 2, I'm incredibly curious to know what this is about and to see what we're shown. So we will ask for a message now, initially, that you need to hear. You have create your own paradise. Okay, I'm hearing enter the dream time. Okay. Create your own paradise. That's your card. And you have prowl with confidence. Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay. I feel like you need to test the waters with something. Prowl with confidence. Don't be afraid to get out there and look, but I don't think this is the immediate time to move forwards. Or are you afraid of looking? Are you afraid of checking something out? What might be holding you back? Let's get more information for you, my beautiful souls. You have karmic justice and you have resilience. Okay. And what else do we have? That's a lot of cards. Let's put those back and just see if one will... Yeah, one's coming through for you. Don't wobble. Okay, right. Okay, that's lovely. Right. Very powerful readings. What I'm seeing as well with ancestors, I'm actually seeing very specific members of your family that have passed over, have transitioned. I feel like there are very specific members of your family walking with you at this time. You may know who they are. I'm seeing particularly feminine energies, female characters. I want to call them characters because these are strong women. They may not have lived in a world that accommodated their strength, but I'm seeing strong women coming through. Prowl with confidence. Check things out. Are you having a wobble? Whether this is a major one or a minor one, this is completely understandable. You're facing big choices, but deep inside yourself, you know what you need to do. This card is here to validate your deeper knowing and the decisions that you are making. As you move forwards, your anxiety will ease and you will refine your balance. Okay. The rune of constraint. I feel as though the constraint is almost, I want to say it's purposeful. Now, it may not be comfortable, but it's purposeful because I think there's a situation around you, and for sure it could be, as this card indicates, a situation that's triggering some internal constraints. But I do feel there is a situation, for most of you, there's a situation around you that feels limiting, a bit stuck, a bit drudgy, or a bit like you can't really fly in it. It would be a difficult place to soar for some reason. And yet, you see, I think you are ready. I think you're ready for more. It may be that you do need to check out different options. We'll draw your tarot cards in a moment. I think you have stayed the course. I suspect you're meant to move on. I need to check that out. All tied up, or something needs to emerge. This is about you checking out your options and your choices, and also knowing that what's happening at the moment has a karmic purpose to it. I think you have navigated to where you are very successfully, and something around you that is limiting, the purpose of it coming to a head is so that you can move beyond it and have more. Okay, so let's just check out. Okay, there's your first card showing itself. You have the Wheel of Fortune. Absolutely. This is karmic, which is a really karmic energy. I think you are genuinely meant to move forward and through and beyond something. You're meant to move to something else. That's what I feel. If this isn't resonating with you, this may not be the right reading for you. Whether that moving to something else is your perception, if there's a perception within you, so it's not an actual situation. Let's see what we're shown and see how the week might unfold. You have the Page of Wands, Karmic Justice, and you have the Judgment card, and you have the Moon. Okay. Now, the moon may well illuminate some things for you. I don't know as and when you watch this reading. If you're watching this reading as I'm uploading it, I don't think we have a full moon for maybe another sort of 10 days or so. But whenever you come to this reading, it's a timeless reading. Whenever the next full moon is, you might find that things are illuminated. I also wonder if things have been illuminated. I think you're seeing that something isn't as possible as you thought it was for some of you. The Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is full of excitement, creativity, passion, fun, new beginnings, and it's almost like this is the opposite energy of the All Tied Up card. Judgment. This is about, I think, what you have seen. I think a situation has been illuminated to show you that it is not going to be quite as exciting or as amazing as you had hoped it would be. It's fine, because I think you're meant to move to something else. This is a time, and I think your primary message is recognizing that and then saying it's time to begin to check out other options. Okay, look for alternatives. Look for other options, look for alternatives. You have the Queen of Wands. Now she is, oh my goodness me, the Queen of Transformation, and you have the Emperor. This is a reading to ask you to take charge of creating your own paradise, to take charge of where you want to be or who you want to be with. Whatever this situation is, I think you have genuinely seen it. I am seeing actual members of your family walking with you. I think they have experienced restrictions. They've walked with you and they can see you experiencing restrictions. And I think you've been very flexible, very adaptable. I keep looking at these shapes and I feel like it's like, what's that word when you're riding shotgun or something like that? You don't want to always be looking over your shoulder, is what I'm hearing. This is a message for some and not all. You don't want to be looking over your shoulder. You want to be in a place where everything is open, transparent, above board. I feel you've seen the limitations of a situation. And simply by seeing it, it's now time for you in a very empowered way to begin to explore other options. You don't have to rush into it, but begin to explore your options. I don't think you have to remain in something. And as I mentioned earlier with this card, if this is you remaining in, if you've noticed that you have limiting beliefs or thinking patterns that are holding you back, you might want to seek therapeutic support or help to process those so you move beyond them. But the timing right now is perfect for you not only to see what doesn't work, but also to align yourself and be prepared to kind of really embrace what is actually possible for you, which I think is way more than you are currently living with in some aspect of your lives. Look at that. We could not have a greater indication of this. You have the card of the Fool. It is a time for a new beginning. So prowl with confidence. Start to go check things out. Consider your options. Just you might have really thought that you were genuinely kind of on solid ground, or you might have been feeling like you'd rather stay with the safe option. This is sort of suggesting that you don't stay with the safe option and that you really do take charge. And now something is illuminated. Now you see it clearly. For some of you as well, that you could literally have seen something you want, but you're holding yourself back. In which case, have a good look at what's holding you back. Don't wobble, because you can make a decision. This is either showing you something that isn't resonating, and therefore you need to check out the options of what is, or it's showing you something that really, really, really would resonate, and you'd have to let go of your safe zone in order to go and inquire about it. I think this could go both ways. Wow. I wonder if we could be given any further indication about just how the energy unfolds during the week ahead for my pile twos. So you have the Page of Pentacles, which is a card of profound promise, and you have the Two of Cups. This is about initiating something, taking a practical, pragmatic step, like sowing a seed of inquiry. Taking a pragmatic step towards the something that you desire, or the something that is really, really right, or indeed to look at alternatives to the something that really isn't right. This is about taking genuine, pragmatic steps, setting forth, making inquiries. This is what we're being shown. Wow. Pile two, I really want to say keep me posted. I feel like your family members are rooting for you on the other side. They look like either aunts or grandmothers, or there's such a strong feminine energy, really, really rooting for you. They're walking with you, they're rooting for you. You don't have to put up with less. This is an invitation to have more, whatever that may be. This literally could be down to your quality of life, your everyday quality of life. You could be relinquishing your tie to, I don't know, a job that earns you lots of money when you'd be incredibly happy doing something else and living somewhere in a different way. Or that there's something here about just whatever it is for you. And can't know in a general reading what those circumstances might be for you each, but your family are rooting for you to be happy. And this is about moving through and beyond some form of restriction or feeling like you just have to sort of put up with something or stay with something. This is really acknowledging and inviting you to take this week a pragmatic, practical action to initiate something that, okay, it steps you out of your comfort zone, but it's taking you towards that space of possibility because the wheel is ready to turn in your favour. Pile 2, this is your reading. I'm sending you loads of love, the biggest hug ever. Do keep me posted in the comments. I would love to hear what this is about. I am really super intrigued. Beautiful souls, if you want to make sure you never, ever, ever miss a reading, do subscribe and press the little bell icon. And thank you so much. If this is resonating with you, do give me the thumbs up and share and let people know about the channel. All of these things really do help. Tons and tons and tons of love to you all. Pile 3, welcome to your reading. Beautiful souls, this is a bit tingly and exciting. Now, this is a really interesting energy because your first card, the Garden and the Gate, this is actually a card of prosperity, of abundance, and you have the Rune of Harvest, which is super, super exciting. However, this card has a really interesting sort of like little twist to it because a bit like the Four of Pentacles in the Tarot, it's a card of security, financial abundance, but it also comes with a little kind of added element of don't stay in your safe zone. Yes, you're living in this beautiful garden, you've got abundance, you've got prosperity, you've got security, but don't cling to your safe zone. Don't stay in your safe zone because it's so lovely, or don't allow that security or that abundance to hold you back from your pathway. This would be like, for example, because it can indicate money coming into you. And you've got a huge ship's wheel here. But what if a huge amount of money suddenly came to you? You win the lottery. This is a very hypothetical thing. I'm not suggesting you're all going to. But what if you came into some finances and you had always wanted to set up, I don't know, a retreat centre or something like that. Whatever it is was your big dream. And suddenly you win this big pocket of money and you think, oh, wow, gosh, alternatively, I could just retire. Well, yes, you could. But there was something you always wanted to do that had so much significance and so much meaning to you. And suddenly, simply because you have abundance, security, it's like, oh, I could ease off the throttle. You could. But what if you then use that security rather than to invest in setting up something that was really going to give you the most incredible amount of personal fulfillment, and you just used it because you could stay safe? It's that kind of thing. It would be like, actually, you can still have all this loveliness. You can still have your beautiful garden. But hey, how about initiating that incredible charity that you were thinking of doing or whatever it was? So you do both. It's kind of like not staying in your being given. I feel like you could be given the means to do something. And how do you use those choices? Because Sewello, the rune of wholeness, it's sometimes literally indicates a pathway that you're meant to follow. So I wonder if you maybe are going to receive something that would enable you to move something forwards, to steer the ship in a particular direction, but you'd need to open those gates and venture into the bigger world. Gosh, loads of information coming for you, pile 3, and we haven't even started drawing your oracle cards yet. Champion Peace. Okay. Look at the kind of flavour of abundance here. Wow. What else are we shown for my beautiful pile 3s? Your card has flown out. Guard the inner child. Look at these beautiful, beautiful rabbits. Rabbits or hares. around her. Now, hares are a sign of fertility. Guard the inner child, champion peace. What is this about? Let's get more information. What is the message that you need to hear right now? You have blessed day. Okay. I feel there is another from this deck. From my beautiful pile of threes. I think it is, I'm not sure. No, I'm not sure. There's your card. Willpower. Wow, I wonder if you will be faced with a dilemma. Guard the inner child. Is there a dream, something you've always had, a dream to have? And there's a blessing, there's something that comes forth that could help you to do something. But you need to have the willpower to act upon it, to open that gate. However this blessing comes. Okay, then you have walk away. This is one of the most direct cards in this deck. Walk away from the situation, right, champion peace. When we face a challenging or unhealthy situation, it can be hard to let go and move on. Sometimes we stay in the hope that someone else will change, or perhaps we are no longer, or perhaps we are so fearful of the unknown, that we remain in the safety of a known and yet toxic situation. This card validates your entitlement to leave. Okay. This is interesting, champion peace, the garden gate. Right. This is suggesting that you are about to, I think, possibly be given the means to move to something else, to open that gate and step into something. If you have been stuck in a situation, but you haven't had either the time or the energy or the resources to be able to do this, I think you're being given the resources, and you've kind of got to take a little bit of a risk. A bit like that Four of Pentacles. Sometimes we have to be prepared to spend something, let go of something, in order to cover the cost of something, to move it. But the cost to remain would be greater. This is very interesting. I think the harvest is the exit. It's the open. The harvest is outside of a safe place. And this is about having the willpower to launch into that something new, to be prepared to invest in the something new. May we kindly get more guidance, please? You have the Page of Pentacles, which is a fantastic card of promise. Also find out kind of how this might be emerging in the coming week. But let's get more information and see what we're shown. You have the Three of Cups, and you have the Devil, and you have the Tower. These are really big cards. Wow, pile 3. Wow, wow, wow. Now, what do your ancestors have to say about this? I feel like they're just observing you, which is really interesting. Why are they watching you? Walking with you? I think they're waiting for you to take an action. That's what I feel. I almost feel as though they're your ancestors, your family members, your ancestors, which I saw so clearly coming in at the start of these readings. I feel like they're almost like watching you. They're sitting on the fence and watching you and saying, you know, are you going to do this? Come on. There's definitely a harvest to be had. Now, is something going to be given to you? Then the Page of Pentacles is an energy of real promise. It kind of says that if you sow seeds now, they are going to come to fruition. So this is initiating something that can come to fruition. The Three of Cups is a card of celebration. And yet we've got this Devil energy. Better the devil you know, I'm hearing. That's a saying, isn't it? Better the devil you know. I think your reading is suggesting the opposite. This would not be helpful. I almost feel like, that's why your ancestors are sitting, almost like they're sitting on the fence. They're sort of saying, look, you could stay here where you are with something, But if you don't move, eventually I think it will break anyway. Champion peace. I think you can move to something, the blessed day. Gosh, so many messages coming through. I'm going to ask about what might be gifted to you. What's the blessing? So that you can do this. What is being gifted to you? Or is something being gifted? Am I right about that? Or is the situation in itself a gift? You have the Chariot. Okay. I think you can genuinely move something forwards here. I do feel this is what we're being shown. I think you have to open the gate. That's why they're all sitting on the fence. It's like they're literally waiting. If you open the gate, they can support you. They will walk with you. These symbols of fertility. You open the gate. For some of you, you're walking away from something. It's like the peaceful option is to walk away. Rather than remain. I think there could even be a battle of wills with somebody, and I almost feel like it would be a bit of a waste of your energy to remain and sort of, like you can, what's that saying where you cut your nose off to spite your face? You stay in something even though it's not really ideal. You have the Page of Wands, so another page. The Page of Wands is a very electric, passionate, exciting energy. I think that's why your ancestors are sitting literally, they're waiting for you, they're observing. Whenever you're ready to open the gate, they will pave the way for you. They'll open doors for you, they'll guide you, you'll know what steps to take next. I think you have to sort of have the courage to open the gate to start with, and then they can support you. Strength, you have the strength to do this. These are very powerful messages. Pile 3, if this is not resonating with you, it may not be your reading. But if it is, beautiful souls, whatever this is, there is definitely your guides, your ancestors, your family, your spirit family are saying to you, we can't help you if you don't. You've got to open the gate to start with. You've got to be prepared to leave your safe zone. The moment you do, we can then support you 100%. We will guard you. We will look out for you. And everything can move forwards. I do feel that something will ultimately break anyway with the Tower. And so better to be in charge of that. I think of the Tower as a bit like the demolition of an old building that no longer works. Its structure is outdated. It needs rewiring and replumbing, and it's just fundamentally there are problems with the building, and it's one of those scenarios where it's better to knock it down and rebuild it from scratch, because you can reuse all the materials. You can upcycle it, and you can build a grand design, but you've got to kind of got to knock it down to build it, because that's where your materials lie. I feel there's opportunity for this. Somehow you've got to step out of that garden gate. I do think resources will come to you. Look at that. You have the Ten of Pentacles. There am I saying, I think resources will come to you. And what do we see? These sort of towers here. And the pathway is paved with the pentacles. You will be given the finances you need, I believe, to be able to make this move, or the energy that you need to make this move. It's kind of making a decision that you're going to go for it. It's basically creating that shift. And then your ancestors, your family can support you. But I do feel you'll be given whatever you need to get to wherever you're going. You have the Queen of Swords. Now she's very logical. Sometimes she's thought of as a bit of an ice queen, but I think in this instance, this is about you making a really clear decision. Once you make a really clear choice, even before you've initiated anything, if you make the decision, it's almost like metaphorically you have energetically opened that gateway. And the moment you open the gateway, what you need then comes to you to make it possible and to make it real. You've just got to make that decision. At this stage, it's like making that choice and saying, I know that I am going to. do, or I'm going to change this or do this, whatever it would be. It's like make the decision and stick to it. We kindly ask, I'd like to ask how the week pans out with the energy here. We kindly ask how the week pans out. You have the Four of Wands, which is a card of actually great celebration, but it's also a commitment. Be clear about what you want and make a commitment to it. You then have the Ten of Wands. Now this is a card of responsibility, obligation sometimes. Though what I see is you stepping forwards. Again, that sense of commitment. I wonder if you're stepping up into something, hence the pathway you must follow. Don't stay in your safe zone. Get out there, be visible, be strong enough to be seen. Are you holding back from something? When really, and maybe the walking away is walking away from any self-doubt for some of you. You then have the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, so this is your message about the week. I think that this is almost saying that this is the week to really consciously make a decision that you are opening that gate, that you are going to create this shift. You are stepping into a position of self-responsibility where you're going to step out of the safe zone, as it were. I think the resources will come to you. Again, maybe resources do arrive because we've got this 10 right at the start of the week here. It's kind of like deciding what you're going to do with this. Make a commitment to step up and take full responsibility of where you want to go. And you may even have an opportunity to initially invest in something. You might have to, it would be like if you, let's say you wanted to move house and you received some money unexpectedly or something like that. You could put down a deposit on something. You'll have to wait a little while. You'll need to be patient while things pan out. But you could make an investment. You could make that commitment, make an investment. And this is suggesting that the harvest will come in. I think that there may be an opportunity this week for you to literally sort of steer your ship. Going back to what I said right at the start of your reading. Like something comes to you. You could stay in the safe zone, but ultimately it would be a bit toxic for you because it wouldn't be going anywhere. Or you could invest it in the thing you've always wanted. I think something comes to you this week. Not quite sure how it arrives, but let's think of that energetically. Something comes to you, some form of resources. And this is about you deciding where you're going to invest those resources so that something can then move forwards. And this is where, as soon as you open that gate, your ancestors, your relatives can then assist you in helping to pave the way and walking with you on this journey. But I think it is. I think it's a pretty big commitment to something new, or to a new. It's taking you out of your safe zone, basically. But I do think it's the path you're meant to go on. You may be in a secure place or a safe space, but I think it is too limiting, potentially. Possibly for some of you, there could be some toxicity in the space you're in. But again, sort of better the devil you know. Actually, this is really saying you are, I would venture to say you are destined for more. And I think this is a week when the resources come to you to enable you to have more or be more or set forth to open a doorway to whatever that would be that sets you on that journey, that pathway of wholeness. Have the strength and the courage to follow through with this. I think you'd be surprised how quickly this might move forwards, even if you can't immediately see, like putting an offer on something. You have to, you've then got to wait while those things are processed. But my goodness me, the fact that you've opened the gate and put in the offer, that's saying something to the universe. That's saying to the universe, I'm doing this. This is what I want. I'm prepared to, to walk that pathway. And then the universe can respond. And your ancestors are walking with you every step of the way. At the moment, they're simply sitting and waiting for you to open that gateway. But I do think this week something arrives to enable that to be possible. How exciting. Pile 3, keep us posted. I would so love to know how this pans out in your week. Beautiful souls, thank you for being here so much. If this is resonating with you, do please give me the thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe and press the little bell icon if you want to make sure you never, ever, ever miss a reading. Loads of love.